who is, as I say, the Omnium World Champion, very strong rider on the inside. You're likely to see her open up with something like about 1.5 to 1 3/4 laps. So that'll be interesting to see, because that's what she did this morning.
Well, more of a controlled start from Jo Rowsell. Lesson learned in the qualification. They're going to go off quick, but it looks a lot smoother. They've been so consistent over the last few years. They've set the benchmark again and again, and I think we're going to see a much more controlled, smooth ride from the British team this time.
I think you're right. And Great Britain went away with a 1:08 this morning, which was far too quick, and towards the end they began to crumble. But believe me, they're going to ride a textbook pursuit here, team pursuit. And for Canada, they actually set a national record this morning. But I know that Great Britain have got far more experience than the Canadians.
Well, they've been shown by Coach Paul Manning that they're ahead of the schedule. And I hope they've set themselves a fast target, because conditions are great here. I mentioned air pressure earlier. Well, it's a little bit lower tonight, and that basically means air density. They're pushing their way through the air. It's not quite as hard as it was yesterday. High temperature too, which helps.
Sorry, Chris, Canada's still making a real fist of this, so they haven't panicked by that quick start of Great Britain. Now then, we'll have a look at the opening kilometre. It's 0.5 of a second at the moment. 1:08.526 was Australia's opening kilometre, and that of course set up the new world record. It'll be interesting to see whether Great Britain are on the same kind of tempo. There it is, opening kilometres gone, and I can tell you that they're not far away from the pace of Australia.
Well, they do look to be smooth. They're consistently on or ahead of their schedule. Canada riding extremely well here. They've actually pulled back 0.2 of a second, 0.3 of a second. So they're riding extremely well. I think it could just be a case of which team cracks first here.
And Paul Manning, actually, the coach, is looking up at the scoreboard, because I think he's quite bemused by this. I don't think he expected the Canadians to put up such a battle. Still close. Canada's still in the shake-up here, but you get the feeling that it's Great Britain that are dictating the terms, and the crowd are lifting them.
Well, they're doing a very, very controlled ride, constantly ahead of that schedule. They're starting to ease ahead a little bit now, but it is so close still, just over half a second.
2:12.704 at the 2 kilometre point. In fact, it's quicker than the time of 2:13.7 that the Australians recorded for that new world record. Chris, that world record is under pressure.
Well, everybody wants one tonight, don't they? And a beautiful changes there from the British team. They really are riding well. Jo Rowsell starting to show a little bit of pain there, and rightly so, the pace they're going. Canada managed to take out some of the bags at the bottom of the track that mark the distance. Some fatigue in both teams, but the British team is pulling away now.
Yep, they've got the bit between their teeth now. They can sense that there could be a world record here, and the crowd are loving it. Great Britain then into the closing stages. 1 lap to go, and the Canadians have completely gone. Now then, what can Great Britain stop the clock at? The time to beat, 3:19.164. Here they come, lining up for the blanket finish. What's the clap? Oh, I don't believe it. Great Britain, 3:18.148, a new world record. What an amazing ride by Great Britain. They have won the World Cup and said to the rest of the world, anything you can do, we can do better.
Well, that was what you call a textbook ride. They didn't panic all the way through. They didn't think about the other team. Fantastic ride by Canada. Really did hold them for a while there, but the British team learned all of the lessons from that qualification ride and executed that plan beautifully.
Absolutely superb. And let us draw attention to the time by Canada at 3:18.982. That was inside the world record that Australia set. So it means that the world record by both those teams set by Australia was smashed. This track really is providing us with some sensational bike riding. Here's a chance to look at the technique of the start of the British trio. Rowsell getting them out of the gate. Beautiful technique there then by Joanna Rowsell, followed by Laura Trott. There she is, tucked in ticely on the wheel. And then this is one of the changes further down. The images are showing for you, but Great Britain will be absolutely ecstatic with that performance. The voracious appetite here then for gold medals for Great Britain. Well, it continues to unfold here, doesn't it? And what a wise move that was to bring Danny King in. There she is. Wendy Hoofenagel sitting in the middle, very unhappy. But the change, King coming in, certainly proved to be profitable. So a fruitful evening so far here in the velodrome for Great Britain. 2 gold medals and 2 world records. Couldn't ask for much more than that, could you? Now then, it's going to be a question of can they get them off the track as they celebrate. There's Johanna Rousel. She's a talented rider, Rousel. Very good individual pursuiter as well.